I'm Cody from Mad Vapes Easily here, and today I've got a build that we're going to do for you today on a new RDTA that we just got in. It is the Limitless Gold RDTA, as you can see here. Limitless, and there's where it says Gold RDTA. This is the RDTA right here. Basically, this is a vast improvement from the original RDTAs. They've done a lot of things. They fixed the airflow. They've put a nice cap on there. The juice well is really nice on it. But my biggest thing about it is I love the build deck, titanium screws, gold on the inside. It just looks really nice. But this right here is the kicker. This is a little stopper that keeps any of that excess juice from pouring out of that hole to where it drips all over you all the time. That was one issue that I had with the original Limitless. And it kind of shied me away from it for a little while. I ended up going to the Glacier, but now that this is out, I wanted to go ahead and do a build for you and just show you how it works and everything like that, and we're going to see how it does, all right? So let's get right down into it. All right, so here it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab my build kit here. We're just going to be putting some fused Clapton wire on it today. Throw a little bit of cotton on it. I'm going to show you how to wick her up and everything like that. So we're going to go ahead and undo our post screws here. I love these titanium screws. They look so good against this gold. They definitely got the product down, or the product look, I guess you could say. As far as this goes, this is definitely something flashy that you could show to your friends and stuff like that and be like, oh, I got this, you know. But here's the Clapton wire that we're using. It's just fused Clapton. It's from Tobacco. And go ahead and we're going to do about 8 wraps. We're just going to do 7. This is some thick stuff. Alright, there's one down. And so when you're wrapping your coils, we've talked about it before, but you just want to make sure you get those as close to each other as possible. Alright, there's 7 on that side. If you don't get them as close to as possible, don't worry about that because you can end up shaping them out once you get them on there. But it just helps you out a lot if they're already pretty close together through those wraps. Alright, so now we're just going to slot it in. And what I like to do is stagger the posts. So I'm going to put one lead on this one to the far right and then one through the post hole on the left here. I don't know if you can see that really well, but see how I've got it staggered like that? So then I'm just going to hold it level with my screwdriver and get it about where I want to see it. And then I'm just going to tighten this down. Alright guys, so back at it. Let me make sure it's recording. Yeah, here we go. Had some people come in, so I just wanted to get them real fast. But you want to secure the coil with one screwdriver, just making sure you've got it exactly where you want it. And then you just tighten it down on the posts here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a screwdriver and push it towards the center. Make sure I got it right where I want it. You want these coils as centered as possible, of course. Then I'm going to go ahead and clip these leads off of here. Bada bang. And then second verse, same as the first on the other side. Just want to slide them through, stagger them, of course, since that's the only space you have to put those. So this one's being kind of tricky on me for some reason. There we go. Alright. So then, once again, just secure that coil with your screwdriver. Tighten her down. Center it. Alright, I think that's good. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure all my posts are as tight as possible. But don't over tighten them because then you'll risk clipping your leads. Of course, with this fused Clapton, it's kind of hard to do. But if you're using like 26 gauge or something like, you know, dental floss thin, it's probably going to clip it. So then I'm just going to go in again and clip these wires here. I magnetize my snips so that they'll catch the wire. But it's kind of more obnoxious than anything else. Alright. So then I'm going to take some vape tweezers. These are ceramics. They're a little dirty. But I love ceramics a lot more than the regular, like, just regular old tweezers. Ceramics allow you to hold on to the coil while you're firing it. You definitely don't want to put metal into this while you're firing it. So I'm going to go ahead and warm this up. Let's see. I was on 130. Let me turn that down a little bit. Oh, just for reference, this is a 32 gauge wrapped in 32 gauge with a 0.2 around it. So it's two pieces of 32.32 with a 0.2 around it, just to let y'all know in case y'all have questions about that. Not 32 gauge, my bad, y'all. Let's see. So we're going to burn it at about 50 watts. Go ahead and let it heat up here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start shaping my coils. And as always, your goal is to get it to burn from the center out. There's different techniques to doing it. Strumming the coils always seems to help me. Can't exactly tell you the science behind that, but it works 98.9% of the time. This one coil is kind of ugly. It like twisted up. That one looks great, but here, if you can see. See, that one looks super good, and then that one's super twisted because of the way that I wrapped the wire off the spool. But it'll work. It burns. It'll vape. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and tighten these posts down again now that we've got that wire all heated up. That'll kind of seat the screw a little bit better in there. I'm honestly surprised that they are still using Phillips heads for these. I really like the color of the screws, and it's fancy, but I've been a little bit more privy to grub screws or Allen key screws just because they seem to not back out as bad, but we'll see over time how this works and if these screws back out. I really didn't have a problem with them backing out on the original Limitless RDTA, so. Alright. There we go. Should fix that heating issue. Alright. Alright, now that we've got them shaped out, go ahead and take this little vent thingy off. And that little thing, I'm going to go ahead and pop that out so I don't tear it up unscrewing this. Alright, so now we're going to take some cotton here, and I'm going to go ahead and use cotton bacon. Y'all know me very well if you've been watching these videos. I've just always been privy to cotton bacon. I mean, it's so easy to wick with. It's got good flavor. I have no problems with it whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a little strip off of here. And so the big deal with the Limitless, you want to make sure that you get a pretty decent amount of cotton in there, but at the same time, of course, you don't want too much because that's going to choke it out and it's not going to wick properly. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions on how to wick these things. Some people say, you know, put it all the way to the bottom. Some people just want you to put it like right here and then Jenny lean it, of course, where you just lean it and get the juice on the ends of the cotton. I'm going to go ahead and do it about halfway through the tank. That way I can lean it, but towards the start I can just, you know, not have to lean it. Let's see. We're going to do it about right there. Get some scissors up. So then we just want to clip it right here, right here, and tuck those in. Alright, that's looking groovy. Alright, then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And as always, you want to make sure that your stuff is as uniform as possible because that's what's going to burn even. And that's what's going to keep that thing vaping real nice for you. Alright. So then just slide this one through. And you want a little bit of tug on it, but you want a little bit less than what you would put in an RDA, I'd say, just because the big deal on this stuff is with cotton bacon, it tends to swell a lot once it's got juice on it, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong, because that means it's holding a ton of juice on it, and I really like that. But when it comes to builds, you got to be a little bit more savvy about that, because if it swells too much, it'll choke out your coil, and it'll choke out your juice coming up through the little holes that they have for you on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip that, tuck those down in there. So I'm not gonna fill this tank up. I'm just gonna drip some juice on the top of it, just so I can show you how it vapes. I'm going to take one of my little tiny screwdrivers and push all this excess cotton in here so we don't got it creating a space or a gap. Alright. Alright, so then you can slide your sleeve back down over it. Oh, if I could thread right, that would be great. There we go. And then just screw that sleeve down. And then what you want to do, and what I've found is the easiest, is once you get that hole right to where it's going to be when it's completely screwed down on there, I'll go ahead and push the cotton over a little bit, because I've had problems with, like, when I go to put juice in there, it'll hit the cotton and it'll just squirt it right back out, and that's such a pain that I can't even tell you. Uh-oh. I just had the cotton just went sideways on me. It didn't sit in the well right. Make sure you look for that too. I totally made a mistake right there and wasn't paying attention to it. But when I screwed the sleeve back down, there we go. Fixed it now. So then you can just tighten it back down. There we go. Alright. So, now that I've got that in there, we're going to go ahead and drip some juice on it and see how it vapes. I'm going to be using some ASAP by Mama-san. I love this stuff. It's peach rings, a green apple Jolly Rancher, and then a strawberry high chew. And it's got a little bit of cool menthol on the end of it. And I'll tell you what, this stuff is awesome. I haven't lost the flavor to it because of that menthol. It really refreshes your palate every time you vape it. So it's hard to lose the flavor to it. Now, cotton bacon, you really don't have to burn off too bad, but I go ahead and do it just out of habit. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and take a vape off of her, see how she does. Oh, let me pop this little insert back in here so we don't have any juice leakage, even though, you know, I didn't fill her up. I just wanted to show y'all how it vaped. This is going to go back in my kit because I'm not ready to use her yet. I still got to drain the glacier before I throw her on anything. Alright, so let me juice it one more time. This looks dry to me. That cotton bacon absorbs so much that it looks dry sometimes. Alright. Let's turn her up a little bit because 52 ain't enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and go to my regular vaping wattage, about 130. This build that we just did, though, with that fused Clapton, I'd say to get a really good vape off of it, I normally do between 85 and 130. So if you want something a little bit cooler, go with 85. But if you're just balls to the wall with it, go ahead and hit 130. If you want to prolong this life, I'd say, you know, the coil's life, well, of course, don't use sweet juice, but I'd say about 110, 120. That way it'll just preserve your cotton a little bit. But enough talking. Let's go ahead and take a vape. That thing's fogging. Here, let me back it up a little bit so y'all can see. Okay, so this is my first time vaping off this this new Gold RDTA Plus. I really like the airflow, and the flavor is actually pretty good on it. I'm honestly surprised by how good the flavor is off of it. overall, it's a very solid RDTA. They fixed a lot of the things that were wrong with the original Limitless. Like I was saying, that leaking was an issue, but with that little rubber stopper in there, it won't be anymore. I like the mouthpiece a lot better than the originals. Other than that, I mean, if y'all have any questions or comments about it, feel free to leave them down below, and we'll be sure to get back to you. But I'm going to take one more vape, and then we're going to get out of here. Let's see. Let's drip her one more time. Bada bang. Bada boom. Man, that's awesome. But like I said, any questions, comments, leave them below, and we'll be sure to get back to y'all. Y'all have a great day.